Hello everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're a subscriber, and welcome to anyone who's new to this channel. And so today we're going to crack on and do another regular crafting project. Again, thank you for everyone who commented on the second room in my murder mystery doll's house. Greatly appreciated. It's been great fun and I'm still enjoying it. And thank you to those who want me to continue with it. So I'm not quite sure how long it'll continue after the sixth room, but we'll see what we can do. So for today, we're going to crack on and do a regular card. And so today, I thought we'd do something a tiny weeny bit different. We're going to be making an interlocking Z-fold card. Now, I know that probably sounds a bit confusing, but I thought I wanted to sort of step up the regular Z-fold card, which, as you probably know, just folds in and out like that. And it still will, but with a bit of a twist, as they say. So you will need a piece of card that measures 12 by 6 inches. Now, there are quite a few measurements in here, so I will go slowly and I will put them all in the description box below. So just click on the word more underneath the video and it'll drop down and you'll see all the measurements you need. And I will give them to you as we go along. So as I say, you will need a piece that measures 12 by 6 and you need to score it at 2, yes, that's right, at 2 and at 4 inches, then at 8 inches and 10 inches. And the reason we've got lots of measurements is because we've got a couple of mats for each bit. I'm not going to do the back. The back I'm going to keep plain. If you want to decorate the back a little bit, you can. I'm going to keep mine plain, then you've got plenty of room to write your message. You could do the backs if you wanted to, but today, or for this project, I'm not going to. I'm going to just concentrate on the bit that you'll see when you open it up. So you will need 4 mats, which measure 1.5 by 5.5 inches, that is. And I'm going to use some glue. I'm going to use my glue stick for this, and I should have got some paper, scrap paper, to put down so that I don't mess my table up. But I didn't, but never mind. I'm sure it'll be fine. And we're going to put this card together in real time so that you can see it building up. I'm not going to skip and do any bits like that. So we're going to put these on, we'll do these mats first. Then I'll show you what you need for the middle bit. It won't take long, so we'll just quickly, oops, if I don't drop it. So we'll just quickly get these mats on first. We'll just pop them down there. Any bits of glue that splodge out, you can just take off like that. And then we've got 2 more. And I'm just going to very quickly pop this on. It's quite good fun sometimes, seeing a card like this build up in real time rather than zipping through everything at breakneck speed, and so you can't really see what's going on. I've watched these other videos where people have said, oh well, just pop this on high speed and you can't see what they're doing. And I thought, well, I wish you'd do it. Some people, some of the videos I've watched, I thought, I wish you'd actually do it in real time so we can see what you're actually doing. So just in case there are others who think the same as me, I'm going to do this as we go along with no editing and no speeding up. So if I make a mistake, you're going to see it. So far I haven't. As long as I've done the cutting properly, or near enough, there shouldn't be any mistakes. But we'll soon find out. And you'll need another mat, which measures 1.5 by 5.5. And that's, no, that's not right. 3.5 by 5.5. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. So you will need 3.5 by 5.5. This will be in the description box below, as I said. So if I do misspeak or attribute the wrong measurement to the wrong piece of card, it'll all be in the description box, so you can sort it out there. But we'll try. Yes, that was 5. That's 3.5 by 5.5. Yes, I do apologise for that. And that will go on there. This is from a 12 by 12 pad that I had still got in my drawer. There's not much of this particular pad left, but there are still a couple of sheets left, or bits of sheets. Now, you will need, I've labelled this as patterned mat so that it's easy to differentiate. You will need 4 that measure 1 by 5 inches. And so this was from the same pad. So again, we're just going to very quickly pop some glue and pop these into place like that. So we'll just put this together, all together, so that we can see it building up, because I quite like watching it building up as I'm doing it. So that's what we're going to do. And you don't have to use glue stick, but this particular glue stick is really thick and it's really strong. So that's why I'm using it. But otherwise you can use your PVA style glue. I wouldn't suggest using construction glue because it might make your card overly heavy, so it might not stand up. But if you're only doing card, you're only putting layers on, so you don't need a construction glue. There's the last one. There it is. It's the trouble when you tidy up, you can't find anything. If it's in a mess, you know it's somewhere. But I've tidied my desk up in an attempt to try and make this video go a bit more efficiently. So we'll see how that goes as we go along. We've got most of the mats down now anyway. So we just need 1 more mat, and that measures 3 by 5 inches. And again, we're going to pop some glue on the back. Obviously this is a single-sided. If you have a double-sided, you just need to decide which side you're going to use for your front. Now, it doesn't really matter which way that goes, but do you know what? I actually like it with that foiled flower nearer the top. So once everything is put down or laid down or stuck down, that's what it will look like. And if you want to, you can absolutely leave it like that. It really looks pretty like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do any more to the Z-fold part, but what I am going to do, in my stash, in my sentiments drawer, I found that which says bloom where you are planted, and with all these lovely flowers, I thought that looked that was quite appropriate, and it sort of matches the colours from our paper pack. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle. So if you're one of these that likes to throw everything at your card, you can go mad and you can put bling on it if you want to. You could put some bows on it. You could put some extra flowers on it, but I think that's probably enough. I think that's probably enough for now anyway. So what we will do now, we will concentrate. I did say this was an interlocking, and so what we will do is we will fold that up. It doesn't quite go to the middle, which probably has more to do with my scoring or measuring than anything else, but that doesn't really matter because it still looks quite good, and I like this white border. So that wasn't a mistake. So there's plenty of room, to leave your space or right on the back. As I say, you can decorate the back if you want to. I'm not going to for this one. I'm just going to leave it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to make our interlocking section. Now, where have I put my notes for that? And you will need to cut a frame for this. I've cut mine out of, I was going to use gold mirror card, but I didn't have any left. But what I have got is gold glitter card. It's not quite as thick as mirror card, but it'll do. And you will need a square that measures 2 3/4 squared, and the inner one, the smaller one, is 2 1/4 square. So you just put one inside the other and cut it out. And what you can do for the interlocking part is use the bit that falls out, which is also 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 if you're not using dies. So the easiest way to do this, I think, now where's my glue? There it is. That's what I was looking for, my red runner tape. We can't have a video on this channel without a little bit of red runner tape. Now, the easiest way to do this, I've never done this before. It was just an idea I had. And I was thinking, you know what, I should have worked this out before I started the video. But we're going to work it out together. So I think the best thing to do for our interlocking part is determine where you want your interlocking part to be. And I think I want mine more or less in the middle. And it seems to want to go down that line. So we'll just put a bit of adhesive on there like that. Get that bit out of the way for a minute. We'll bring it back and stick it down like that. Then what you need to do is bring that back. Once that's in place, you don't have to worry about it flopping about all over the place, and it'll stay put. So we will need our mat, which is, what did I say, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and I've just used white for this to coincide with the outer part. And then I've used another piece of gold which just measures 2 by 2 inches. And all I'm going to do, all I'm doing, I haven't done anything wildly exciting. I'm just putting some glue on there. And if I bring that back, pop that out the way. And I'm just going to lay that down there like that. And that just gives you a little bit of a white border, or whatever colour card you're using. In this case it's white. Now I wanted something on the front of there. You could leave it like that. In fact, let me show you what it looks like when you don't put anything on. I am going to put something on it, but I'll show you that in a minute. But what you need to do then is line your frame up, hold it down, and decide where your interlocking part needs to be. And it needs to be about there. So hold that down. This time I think we're going to use glue, if it'll stay. Do you know what? I don't think it will stay, actually, because we've got 2 layers. I don't think that will stay. So again, I'm going to use tape, but I'm going to make sure I don't put the tape on that bit, otherwise it'll just stick together. And that would be embarrassing. So we'll butt that up right to there. We need to make sure it goes square, otherwise it won't open. And the idea is that will come over like that. And there is your interlocking part. Now, if you want, as I do, a little bit more decoration, I found in my ephemera drawer, I found this absolutely gorgeous pink rose, and I think that will finish it off really nicely. So I'm just going to put a blob of glue on the back, nice thick creamy blobby glue, and fold that down, put it in the middle like that. I'll just wiggle it about. If you use glue, you can wiggle it about until you're happy with the position. So there we go, there is our interlocking Z-fold card. So that will interlock like that. It will come out, just pull the interlocking part back. It's probably a good idea to wait for the glue or the adhesive to dry before you do this. It will open up like that. It will stand really nicely. If I rock it backwards, you can see what it looks like when it stands. If you wanted to use something a bit thicker, you could add this. You either use a thicker card or add this to a white card, which I should have done, but that's all right. And just what we do when we put that back, and that will interlock really nicely, just to hold it closed, and then it will just pop out again. But it will work better if you use a thicker card for your frame. So there we go, guys. There is our interlocking Z-fold card. So, or if you didn't want to use a Z-fold card, you could just make this into a gatefold card, I guess. But I decided to make it into a Z-fold card because it's more fun. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you can join me for my next video. And in the meantime, do take care, everybody. Have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.